Hello guys, myself Charan MS. I'm studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today's topic is about types of modulation techniques. What is modulation? Modulation is equals to adding information to the carrier signal. The sine wave on which the characteristics of the information signal are modulated is called a carrier signal. Modify a signal modulate. Detect the modification demodulate. Any reliable detectable change in signal characteristics can carry information. Modulation: converting digital or analog information to the waveform suitable for transmission over a given medium. Involves varying some parameters of a carrier wave, sinusoidal waves, at a given frequency as a frequency of message signal. General sinusoidal. If the information is digital, changing parameters is called keying. ASK is nothing but amplitude shift keying. PSK is nothing but phase shift keying. FSK is nothing but frequency shift keying. Modulation systems. Modulation system is source to source encoder, channel encoder, modulator, channel de- destination, source decoder, channel decoder. Types of modulation: analog modulation and digital modulation. Analog modulation is nothing but if the variations in the parameter of the carrier is continuously in accordance to the input analog signal. The modulation technique is termed as analog modulation scheme. If the variation digital modulation. If the variation in the parameters of a carrier is discrete, then it is termed as digital modulation technique. Analog signals. These are the analog signals of signal amplitude modulation, frequency modulation. Digital modulation. In digital modulation, an analog carrier signal is modulated by a discrete signal. Digital modulation can be considered as digital to analog and the corresponding demodulation as to digital conversion. In digital communication, the modulating waves consist of binary data and the carrier is sinusoidal wave. Amplitude shift keying. In ASK, the amplitude of the signal is changed in response to information and as ls it kept fixed. Bit 1 is transmitted by a signal of one particular amplitude. To transmit 0, we can the amplitude keying keeping the frequency constant. These are the waveforms: carrier signal and modulated signal. FSK, frequency shift keying. In FSK, we can change the frequency in a response to the information. One particular frequency for a 1 and another frequency for a 0. These are the waveforms of carrier signal and modulated signal of FSK. Phase shift keying. In PSK, we can change the pace of the sinusoidal carrier to indicate information pace in the content is starting angle at which the sinusoidal starts. One phase changes encoding 0 while another phase change encodes 1 to transmit 0. We shift the phase of the sinusoidal by 180 degree. In a binary data transmission sends only one of two possible signals during each bit interval TB. In varied data transmission sends one of m possible signals during each signal interval t. In almost all applications, m is equals to 2n and t is equals to ntb, where n is an integer. Each of the m signals is called a symbol. These signals are generated by the changing the amplitude, phase, frequency or combined forms of carriers. Thus we have MASK and MPSK, MFSK, MQAM. Quadratic phase shift keying. Quadratic phase shift keying can be interpreted as two independent BPSK systems and thus the same performance but twice the bandwidth efficiency. The phase of the carrier takes of one of four equal space values 0, pi by 2, pi and 3 pi by 2, where each values of phase corresponds to unique pair of message bits. Quadratic amplitude modulation. If both the amplitude and the phase are varied proportional to the information signal, quadratic amplitude modulation results. Combination of phase shift keying and amplitude shift keying. This is the carrier signal and modulated signal. These are the waveforms of a quadratic amplitude modulation. Differential phase shift keying. For the perfect detection of phase modulation signal, the receiver needs a reference signal, but if different encoding and phase shift keying are made together at the transmitter. The technique is called as difference phase shift keying. For the transmission of symbol 1, the phase is unchanged, whereas for the transmission of symbol 0, the phase of the signal is changed by 180 degree. Thank you.